Alright, so we are back with part 9 of Aliens Dust to Dust, and check out the playlist if you want to get caught up. And if you want me to release the next episode as soon as possible, let's get to 100 likes and let's get to as many comments as possible. So Maxon and two survivors, one happens to be a synth, are on their way trying to get to a tower, and this was informed by the synth that seems to have the location of the shuttle and get out of there. Now, as they're running away, there seems like there's no hope in terms of them getting to a dead end. But then they look to the ceiling, and there seems to be some kind of pathway which they can squeeze through. It is crazy. And they're clamoring, and they make their way to where the the pathway would be. But then something happens. Pathway isn't there. And the survivor's talking to the synth and said, "You knew this wasn't here. Why did you lead us here?" And he says, "This was the most logical pathway for us to go to. I didn't know that it wouldn't be here. We're going to have to jump." So they come to the conclusion, yes, they need to jump, but that survivor that was talking a whole bunch of smack to the synth cannot make it. So she says, "You guys have to leave me." And the synth, is pretty much emotionless, and he's like, "Yeah, we're gonna have to because you can't." And he takes the head and he jumps all the way over. And I know I've been calling her the survivor for a really long time. Her name is Cinta. But I'm not really trying to say a whole lot of names except for Maxon so that you can really focus on the hero of sorts or the protagonist of the story. Now he makes his way to the access pad, and there is nothing but just a whole bunch of like old survivors that we saw in the beginning of the story on the original shuttle, and they're just like harnessed up in just xenomorph action, right? You can tell that face huggers have already got to them, and basically they're gonna give birth. And the synth does his eye recognition type of pattern, and then something happens right after. As soon as they turn, they see a queen. Yes, a queen xenomorph. It is wild. And if you thought that that was it, there's more. As the queen was going after them, the same one-armed xenomorph jumps on top of her. And it seems like that same xenomorph, we were right in the beginning. Maxon was right. It does have some kind of basic genetic memory. Him. Yo, this story is so amazing. Type in part 10 for more.